You have probably already heard it about a million times, but yes, 2025 is looking like it's going to be an absolute massive year for crypto. And it's not just about the pro-crypto admin coming into office, but it's also about the fact that we are starting to see institutions really kind of warming up. And now they're going to start piloting some very big use cases. And I think that this should be a focus from everyone, including, of course, XRP holders. If you hold XRP, now is the time to lock in because the XRP ledger is starting to become an institutional chain. We know that Ripple is looking at institutional DeFi initiatives on the XRP ledger. The entire stage is set around the XRP ledger adoption from the institutional side of things. Yes, obviously retail is still there, but my focus is always on the much bigger picture, which is, of course, the institutional side. So with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. Let's dive on in. Let's talk about this, right? Because this is going back to October. We have pilots set for 2025 seek to show Swift's network's ability to facilitate crypto transactions between financial institutions. This is very interesting because we know that Swift has been fully embracing tokenization. We know that Swift has been working alongside the DTCC with tokenization as well. The same DTCC that was in front of Congress back in the summertime, also talking about how tokenization is basically going to reshape our entire financial system. If we're really thinking about what's happening here, okay, the stage is being set. The stage is being set for crypto to be incorporated and ultimately integrated into the traditional global monetary system. And I don't think that people realize just how big that statement actually is. Think about how crazy that is. Crypto being integrated within the global monetary system. It's happening. But it all starts with regulations. It all starts with institutions as well. We have over here from Smoke Dog, yes, institutions are predicting that by the end of 2025, 100% of all the world's leading financial institutions will have all approved crypto legislation, including the US. This is why 2025 will be monumental for crypto. Global regulatory clarity for the first time. And we have here, we predict that by the end of 2025, 100% of the world's leading financial centers will have drafted and approved at least some pro-innovation, pro-blockchain, and crypto legislation. The laggard has been the US, and by the end of 2025, we predict that this will be resolved. And yes, with this pro-crypto admin, with the SEC reset happening as well, I am expecting the US to ultimately be completely on board the regulatory side of crypto. And I also do think that we're going to see very big acceptance of crypto as well in the US. But outside of this, we also go over here. Remember this from June. Here we have Must Watch. David Schwartz explains the strategy behind RippleNet and utility of XRP. Here we have the focus, right? Ripple plans on integrating financial institutions into a payment system, Ripple Payments, that can settle transactions using XRP. By establishing a robust infrastructure including on-ramps, off-ramps, and sufficient liquidity, there will be no barriers preventing these institutions from using XRP to settle their payments. This will drive trillions as Ripple plans to have dozens of financial institutions flooding onto the XRP ledger.
Idea is get institutions using a payment system that can settle with XRP. Then as the infrastructure, on-ramps, off-ramps, and liquidity is available, there's no obstacle to them using XRP to settle their payments. So that's RippleNet. You can kind of think of Ripple as having two halves, RippleNet, which is like enterprise software for institutional payments, and then RippleX, which is all the XRP ledger and DeFi stuff.
Now, this is from Ripple CTO, right? Like he's literally telling you what's happening here. The plan in place, how this is all going to be realized in. It's a mix of tokenization with the stablecoin. You have institutional DeFi initiatives happening. I mean, all of this is tied back to the same puzzle piece. Over here we have Ripple strategy regarding XRP. It's difficult for us to use XRP for settlement in the United States right now. And this is where everyone's question comes from, right? Like, why isn't XRP being utilized in a massive way right now? At first, we just wanted to get as many customers as possible, and we wanted to understand how they were using the network and where the opportunities were to use XRP and digital assets for settlement. Then, for a long time, our focus was exclusively on customers that would use XRP for settlement. Today, it's kind of somewhere in between those two approaches. Check this out.
Over time, at first, we just wanted to get as many customers as possible, and we wanted to understand, how they were using the network and where the opportunities were to use XRP and digital assets for settlement. And then for a long time, our focus was exclusively on customers that would use XRP for settlement. Today, it's kind of somewhere in between those two approaches. It's difficult for us to use XRP for settlement in the United States right now because of litigation issues. So a lot of our expansion has been in the Middle East, in Asia, South America, Europe over time.
And this is exactly why 90% of Ripple's customers are actually outside of the US. The SEC lawsuit definitely hindered a lot of growth. But also, there's not proper regulatory clarity around crypto assets for these big institutions to actually utilize the technology in a way that we have been, really kind of preparing for. This is why I really kind of focus on regulation. The number one thing for me is the timeline, right? How do we get to mass adoption and mass utilization of the tech? Well, it starts with regulations, all right? It's all of these cars, we'll use cars for a reference, right? All these institutions are cars. Right now, they're parked at the red light, waiting for the red light to switch over to green. And this is where we start to kind of look at regulations as being that switch to actually flip the light to green. Once that happens, all of the institutions are going to flood in. Now, you'll see some of them stop at certain destinations, sure, because it's going to be a multi-chain, world. But I do expect a large portion of them to flood into and onto the XRP ledger through Ripple. The only thing that we are waiting for is regulations. And even over here, we have from SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce. She says that the thing that would make her most happy in 2025 would be if nobody talks about the SEC at crypto conferences anymore. I want people to get to the point where they're spending their time talking about the technology and its potential. And if we are going to see a reset at the SEC, if we are going to see this pro-crypto admin taking the pro-crypto approach seriously, then I am expecting us to actually see a complete change in scenery where everyone is going to be talking about the technology. They're going to be talking about the potential as well. And institutions are going to put a big spotlight on that as well.
What would make Hester Pierce most happy to see done in 2025 potentially? As I threw a lot at you, whether it is kind of restaking or in-kind redemptions, things like that, what is it?
I mean, I would be happy if at the end of 2025, people were not, when we go to crypto conferences, the first thing people were talking about would be something other than SEC regulation. I want people to get to the point where the regulatory structure is there. They know what the rules are, they're complying with the rules, but they're spending their time talking about the technology and its potential. That would make me very happy.
Now, on top of this, right, when we're thinking about institutions, once they officially begin talking about the technology in a positive way, once we start to see them accepting crypto in a positive way, and finally integrating and utilizing it, that's when we start to see the entire shift from the whole hype and speculative cycle to utility. But we still have some time until this space is fully regulated. But one thing that I always find interesting is the words from Ripple, employees talking about this space. Because this is not just like retail telling you, hey, yeah, these things are going to happen. Like, these are actual employees at Ripple. And this is actually from managing director at Ripple, Casey Craddock, and she's in the UK and the Europe area. She was basically featured in an article for her 2025 predictions. And we have financial institutions still on the sidelines will realize internal pilots aren't enough for meaningful progress. And that kind of goes back to, this announcement with Swift looking at pilots set for 2025. Yeah, they're not enough. They're not enough. Legacy banking systems are complex and require collaboration with experts and industry partners to scale tokenization solutions. Banks will favor partnerships to accelerate blockchain implementation and tap into expertise in technology, security, and compliance. Digital asset custody will shift from a nice to have to a need to have, becoming key for competitiveness. Custody services will enable innovation in blockchain native solutions like trading and tokenized asset management. And then last but not least, institutions that invest early in custody and collaborate effectively will capture market share and build trust in the evolving sector. And building on top of this, right, she also did post this. Now, this was her predictions, right? This is the actual source. But we have large financial institutions will double down on crypto offerings in 2025. So if we're thinking about, institutional adoption, it's going to grow even more from here on out. And I think that that's even very clear by what Coinbase is telling us, right? This is from December 18th of this year, 2025 crypto market outlook. Okay. Now, there's a lot in here to really kind of go over, as you guys can see. Like I could scroll on this for, a while. The number one thing that we're really kind of looking at here, though, is the breakdown. They give us an executive summary, which we have: as we look forward into 2025, the cryptocurrency market is poised for transformative growth. The maturation of the asset class continues to gain momentum with increasing institutional adoption and expanding use cases across its various sectors. In just the past year alone, spot ETFs were approved in the US, tokenization of financial products increased dramatically, and stablecoins saw massive growth and greater integration into the global payments framework. Getting here has been no easy task. And no, it hasn't, right? We've seen so much growth in just the last couple of years to actually get to this point that we're at now. But it feels like we are starting to see a shift. And we have down here that, moreover, not only did Bitcoin dominance surge, but the innovations in decentralized finance push the boundaries of what's possible with blockchain, putting the foundations of a new financial ecosystem within reach. Central banks and major financial institutions around the world are discussing how crypto can potentially make things like asset issuance, trading, and record keeping more efficient. So they're all like, if we're thinking about this, they're already preparing for crypto to be integrated. They want crypto to be integrated. And if we're thinking about that, right, this is going to lead to crypto being integrated within the financial system. And as we really look at Ripple, as we look at XRP, okay, I bring them up because, obviously, yes, this is an XRP video. But if we're thinking about Ripple and XRP, they've been at the forefront of this for so long, okay? They have been innovating and trying to fix the issues around our traditional financial system forever. And if we're thinking about that, they stand at the forefront of this. But even outside of Coinbase, though, we have Signum. With clearer US regulations, inflows from major funds are expected to start in earnest in 2025. This is from Signum. Why institutions may adopt crypto as a standard asset class in 2025. This is from December 20th of this year. We have down here institutional allocations. We have seen the beginnings of crypto allocations in the balanced portfolios of large traditional financial institutions this year, as well as the initiation of crypto investments by a small number of pension funds. BlackRock, Fidelity, Morgan Stanley, think about how crazy that is. These are the names that are now launching ETFs, getting exposure to crypto, looking more into tokenization. The crypto industry has long highlighted the portfolio diversification benefits of crypto investments, as well as their asymmetric risk and return profile. The growth of the market has since made investments of a meaningful size possible. The regulatory risk has receded, and the involvement of the largest traditional financial institutions has credentialized the asset class and turned the risk of being an outlier by investing into having to justify not investing. So we're now at the point in time where the risk of not being an investor in crypto greatly outweighs investing into crypto. That's crazy to me. But we have down here regulatory clarity. 2025 is likely to see regulation in the US that clarifies the status of crypto assets. This would be transformative for the industry with a number of potential benefits, including enabling institutional allocations to crypto asset class, easier banking access for crypto projects, reduced legal overhead for crypto businesses, reinvigoration of innovation, investment, and a move of talent into the industry. And if we're thinking about that, that also means that we are about to see the entire space legitimized. We're about to see the biggest players like Ripple, for example, adopt it, utilized. I mean, I truly do expect this space to wake up in a massive way in 2025. I also expect to see institutional FOMO hitting this space in a big way in 2025 because the entire stage has now been set for it. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.